Hello viewers. I get a few questions on what cameras and gear I use when I take the videos. Look, I don't spend a lot of time on production. I don't tend to have the time. I just do what bare minimum to sort of make it viewable, but I would like to spend more time on production, and that is something that I am going to do. I've got some better gear just of late and some better audio stuff. So, but what I've been using, I've got set up over here. So that's the general camera setup. I don't always take all of these with me, but usually I'll take definitely a couple of the GoPros, normally this one here because it's my helmet cam and the windscreen cam, and I'll show the mounts later. This is an older GoPro, and then a couple of other ones that I use for B-roll sort of shots. A couple of older cameras and smaller cameras that I tend to take into sort of crappy conditions. You know, they're 12 megapixel or 8 megapixel. I can't remember what the older Canon is, but they're pretty good quality. 4K G85 Luminex does 4K and stills, 4K video. That's the main run and gun camera. That's what does a bulk of the work as tripod work and handheld work. Attached to that's normally one of these boom mics. Internal microphones on any of these things aren't that crash hot. This is a smaller stereo mic that I use in the helmet or in a GoPro or in anything that has the 3.5. This is actually quite a good microphone. And then I've also got a Rode lapel microphone that I use when I'm just want good audio or want audio away from the camera, and I'll probably put that on after I've shown it to you just to get better audio. So that's basically the setup. So what I'll do is I'll switch to a better camera and go through some of the mounting options. And then one of the things that really can be a pain is all the chargers and stuff you take with me. I've got an idea for that I've got from someone else, and I'm going to start to play with that today, and I'll put this at the end of the video just to keep all your chargers and batteries in one spot. Okay, I'll switch cameras. So now we're going to have a look at some mounts for the cameras. One of the main mounts I use a lot, when mainly on the motorbike, is the helmet mount. So with the helmet mount, you basically have a GoPro stuck onto the front of the helmet. This here is actually a GoPro cable, and I've just modified it and cut it and taken off the cables I didn't need, and it has a microphone input and a power input that I actually power from the bike, and that all plugs into here. And as you can see, I've got blue tack around that, and that just seals it up. So that's the helmet mount. So this is the bike crash bar mount. It's just a bracket from GoPro or one of the mount suppliers. Gives you quite a good view, especially for B-roll, where you just want to cut something into your video that's a little bit different than the helmet cam. So that's a really good angle. One of the advantages of this is that I can also power it from the bike. So I can run a USB down from one of the power sockets and also power the camera if it runs out of batteries. This is a mount that I often use when I'm out, say on machines. This is a very powerful magnet. This is plastic obviously, but you can stick it to the side of say a bulldozer or an agricultural implement, and it'll just stick there and stay dead solid. And then you can basically adjust all of this to whatever angle you want, and the GoPro just sits in there. Get the focus. So yeah, that's quite a good one. I don't use it a lot, but it's definitely nice and quick when I need to. So one really interesting mount is the windscreen mount. Gives you a good perspective of driving and that view. And I have a GoPro that fits up in there. I've also got a power lead that plugs into it. If I can get that in. There you go. Got a power lead that plugs into it that keeps it powered, and it's basically just behind the mirror and does a good job of giving you that view, a bit like a dash cam style view. So that's a really good mount. That's a real go-to sort of location for footage when doing sort of travel video. I've changed to another camera because I was using the one that's on the windscreen, but that's another mount that I use from time to time. It's just a large suction cup, 6-inch suction cup. It'll hold, well, they say a ton, but a lot, and a number of 1.25-inch ram mounts, and I adapted a ram mount ball so that it fitted to the tripod mount underneath, and that allows me to have good quality sound and images in the front of the car. The GoPro is not too bad, gives you a good wide shot, but sometimes you want a bit better quality picture and sound. So that's one of the main camera mounts. One of the advantages of putting this camera up here too is you can see on the flip out screen, which is quite handy to know what you're actually shooting. So yeah, definitely an advantage. And the last but not least is the GoPro suction cup mount, which can go just about anywhere, on a window, on the paint, on the side, on the bonnet. They're just a highly universal mount, and you always need one of those just to get that extra angle or that extra shot. Always very stable. So that's pretty well it for mounts. So the next part of this is going to be, how do you keep all this equipment charged? So I'll show you what I've done for that. I actually got it from an idea from another guy, but I'll show you what I've done, my version of it. So this is my solution for the charging problems, or the charging challenges of keeping all this stuff charged. When I go out in the field, I used to have stuff lying all around the seats. It used to always fall off, you'd lose it, it would fall out the door, and you just, yeah, misplace pieces. So I bought this case. I put in a power board, and I wondered what to do with all this. I was going to stick it through the side, but for now I've just left it as it is. You just plug it in. It works like an all power board. You put all your stuff in there. It's got 2 USB ports for phones and iPads, high power output, and then you've got four outlets. So here I've got a drone battery charger, Camry battery charger, GoPro battery charger. There's a spare one there. I could put another power board in here. I've got 2 USBs for this. I can put everything, all my chargers will just fit in here, and I can close it and grab it and go. So it's called, I just call it the charging case. It's set up for the car, obviously not for the bike. This here is actually a DC to DC power supply for the drone, for the 12 volt drone batteries. They don't charge under 13 volts, so when your car's stopped you need to have a DC to DC. So I might even just throw this in here and keep it in here, and then you can just put all your chargers in there. You can just pick it up, and as long as everything's in there, you know you haven't lost it. So that's my solution for charging. And I got this off a guy called Ronnie Dell. I don't know if anybody's heard of that website, but he's probably the premium 4x4 and camping YouTube channel, mainly based in Western Australia, or he is based in Western Australia. If you haven't seen his channel, definitely go there. I'll put a link to it down in the show notes. Definitely worth subscribing to, and he has a box similar to this, and that's where I got the idea from. And when I saw it, I thought that's exactly what I needed. So a few dollars from Bunnings or hardware store, and you're up and running. Okay guys, well that's it, that's a wrap, and I'm going to get back onto playing around with the bike and doing a few service things to it. So I'll see you guys on the next one. So one thing that I did, I also got a lapel mic. And what that allows you to do is walk around away from the camera, but still have good sound, and walk all the way out here and still have a good sound. So when you set up the camera in the bush, you can walk around, not have to be next to the camera and narrate. So that's a new little addition, a Rode lapel mic. So on my last test that I just did, I just noticed when I played it back that there was a bit of wind noise in this lapel mic, and it's just got the just got the foam pop filter on it. So using my limited dressmaking skills, I made myself up a wind blocker, or a dead cat, or this one's a baby dead mouse. I'll stick it on there and show you what it looks like. So it's just a bit of like fairy material you can buy from down at a clothes shop, and I just sewed it together and it just fits over the microphone like that, and that should block the wind. So we'll go and give that a test. So I'm out in the wind now, and it's blowing a little bit, and just seeing, there you go, blowing into the wind, just seeing if there's any hint of wind noise. I can feel it blowing quite heavily on me, so let's see if that fixed it.